Hello all and welcome to another Two Limes and a Lemon podcast extravaganza. We're celebrating the magic of cinema this week as part of our new And the Winner Is series, choosing Best Picture winners from across the years. Today's choice won Best Picture in 2020, and it shows us all the lengths that some will go to raise their station, whether that be hard work, motivation and drive, or perhaps just leeching off a rich family, killing a former housekeeper, and getting your own family destroyed in the process. Perhaps it's all of the above. That's right, this week we're looking at the movie Parasite.
Are we having theme music? Like, how do we... Is it just start with us talking?
Yeah, Dave's gonna do us some, a jingle, I think.
Dave.
Nat.
Danielle.
Two Limes and a
Lemon. So welcome back to the podcast, guys. My name's Nat and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Danielle and Dave. Say hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
So before we dive into the movie this week, we'll do our regular segment of what we've been consuming. Now, that isn't just restricted to food. It can also mean what media have you been consuming, such as movies, TVs, books, and games. Dave, we're going to start with you.
Oh, I'm going to probably steal your ones. I watched Scream 7 at the cinema this week. I enjoyed it. It's not as good as the other ones, but I think I had a fun experience. I jumped a few times. Wasn't expecting who the killer was. It was a bit of like, who are you? Oh yeah, you're that person.
We did keep guessing, the whole way through. Whenever anyone new was introduced, we were like, that's the killer.
I think that there was one over the top death that was a bit like, maybe a bit on reflection. I'm like,
Is it the one in the pub?
It's the one in the pub, yeah, in the bar.
Yeah, no, that was very unscream.
It was very like
that particular death.
Like, what's that horror film with the jester kind of guy?
Terrifier.
Yeah, it's very Terrifier-esque, wasn't it?
Yeah, over the top. Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I think it was very Sydney heavy. I think someone else could have had a go, but she had.
She's not been there for the last two movies.
Yeah, they made it. They really sort of. You weren't there in the last one. I think what it was missing was more Ghostface on the phone talk.
Yeah,
they went with the other kind of like return, who's back, who's not back kind of thing, and I was like, I don't want to see that person. I want to see the voice. I want to hear the voice of like, what's your favorite scary movie kind of thing, rather than the thing they went for. But overall, enjoyed it. Still think Scream 3 is the better one. I dare you to challenge me on that one. That's my favorite Scream 3.
No, I can't stand Courtney Cox's fringe in that one, and it ruins the whole movie.
I've seen it several times, and I can never remember who the killer is in Scream 3.
It's like her brother, who it's like nobody cares.
Yeah. But I think that got me guessing the most, because I was like, I don't know who it is.
That's because it's so left field. You're like, I don't know. Were you even here?
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good Scream. It kind of made me go, you can't end on that film. You have to do another one now.
I enjoyed it. There was a few things I might as well use this for my consuming as well. But Sydney's husband, halfway through the movie, something happens to him, but a good chunk of the movie, we're like, are we ever going back to him? Is
her husband anybody?
Why is nobody caring? This is the thing. So at the end of Scream 3, my not favourite Scream, she gets with Detective Mark. And then, played by Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy, right?
Didn't even remember he was in it. This is how little Scream 3 has stuck in my brain.
And then, in this movie, she's also going out with a policeman called Mark, but not the same Mark. And I'm like, is this because, I can't remember, Scream 4, when she did come back, she was like, oh, Mark's at home with the kids, and we're all assuming it's, Patrick Dempsey. And then it's actually this other Mark.
Oh. Maybe it's, Mark with a C versus Mark with a K.
Anyway, what have you been up to, Danielle?
So, I hadn't planned on doing this for my consuming, but because of what happened this week, I feel like I have to. So, one of my favorite things at the TV show that's been on for about 8 years now is suddenly ending. They had a big announcement on Friday, and the last episode was on Friday. And it's this show on Shudder called The Last Drive-In. Basically, it is like a horror film double feature usually, or they do specials with one or two of less films. And it's hosted by this film critic, Joe Bob Briggs, and that's not his real name. He kind of puts on this podunk Southern persona, kind of amps it up a little bit, but it's a character that I've known from childhood. He had a show when I was quite young on the movie channel called Joe Bob's Drive-In Theater. And then in the 90s, there was a show on TNT called Monster Vision, which I think a lot of millennials and stuff really got to know him from. And so right before COVID, they did it was like a 12 or 24 hour movie marathon with him hosting. And it was going to be like his last hurrah because, you know, people who subscribe to Shudder are kind of weird niche horror fans. And so this was like, we're bringing this guy back and we're going to do this. But it got so many subscriptions to Shudder that they brought it back as a regular series. So it's been on for 8 years. They've kind of changed the formatting, doing double feature, single one. They do these specials. They've got like, they do live things. And it's just something that's become really special for me because, you know, I've always loved these weird B and horror movies, and I generally don't have somebody to talk about it with. And the online community, along with this last drive-in, has been amazing. And so anytime there's a weekly show, I go on like Reddit and follow the live stream and see other, like I'm not the type to post on these type of things, but I see people posting the same sorts of reactions and things, and it feels like a real community. And so earlier in the week, there was a special notice from him, and he's like, I want to say he's probably in his late 70s, 80s now. And so it's this announcement saying, if you've been a fan for the last 8 years, make sure you tune in this week. And so then all the fans got nervous that, you know, this older man is sick and whatever.
Yeah.
So then they released, no, I'm fine, but this is going to be this is our last show on Shudder. And they've left it sort of ambiguous, like last show on Shudder, last show at all. We don't know yet. So
yeah, could it be going somewhere else?
Yeah, so I don't know if it's a matter of something changing with Shudder. Shudder canceled it. Shudder couldn't pay whatever they wanted if they wanted, you know, more money. There was some speculation that it could be moving to AMC Plus, but I think they've kind of quelled those rumors a bit. So looking forward to seeing where it goes next. So I watched the last drive-in on Friday, which was a movie called, it was 2 movies I've never seen, which is always exciting. It was one called Messiah of Evil that was like a weird, trippy sort of cannibal artsy film, and then the other one was called The Last Horror Film, and it had the guy who played in the original Maniac film, a guy named Joe Spinell, and I think they filmed it like Rogue in Cannes, and it's like the killer filming the murders to make his own horror film. It's all very schlocky and
right.
You know,
yeah,
doesn't fit in with today's subject. It's not a Best Picture nominee. None of these are best, like the best pictures by any means. But, like, yeah, that's.
But you enjoyed it,
yeah, very much so. And I'm hoping, like now that I kind of know this community exists, I'm gonna keep kind of following it, and hopefully there'll be a new home in the future.
Back to the movie of the week, Parasite. So for anyone that hasn't seen the movie before, you might want to turn off the podcast now and go and have a little watch, because it's definitely worth the twists and turns to watch them for the first time rather than us spoiling it for you. But if you don't mind, then here's a quick synopsis. A South Korean family who are living a bare bones existence where they're piggybacking off of neighbours' Wi-Fi and have no luck with jobs get an opportunity to improve their lives by working for a rich, affluent family as tutors, a driver and a housekeeper. The only problem is they're lying about their credentials and suitabilities for the roles. They also have to set some of the previous employees of these roles up to create the positions for themselves. However, they soon find out there is something even more sinister going on in the basement, where the previous housekeeper is hiding her criminal husband without the rich family ever being aware. But more tensions arise when the father overhears the rich family discussing his poor people smell, which culminates in a bloodbath at a child's birthday party. My first question, as always, is: have you guys seen the movie before?
I can go first. I saw it when it came out at the theater. I was a fan of this director, Bong Ho. He directed a movie called The Host, which is this like monster movie from the early 2000s that starred the same actor who played Mr. Kim in this. And then he went on to do Snowpiercer and Okja in English language. And so,
yes,
when I saw this coming out, I was excited to see it, so I saw it right away.
I went to see it on Valentine's Day.
Or as a date?
No. So me and my old school friend, we met up and we were like, because we were both like lonely singles at the time. I was like, I had a Cineworld card and I was like, oh, but Parasite is going to start. I can just watch that until they're here. So I went and saw up until he starts tutoring the young girl. And then I was like, right, off I go. And I left it there.
So that's like, the first 20 minutes?
Yeah. So that was my first encounter with Parasite.
And there was,
and now all these years later, you finally finished the tale.
Yeah.
So it didn't get you enough in that beginning to go try watch it again?
Nah, I was too busy like clock watching, like. But yeah, this was my first time viewing it, I think.
Was it what you expected it to be?
Well, I kind of knew some of the stuff about the guy in the basement, but I didn't know where it was going to go.
You knew the guy in the basement before watching. That was a complete surprise to me.
I watched it when it first came onto like Amazon Prime or something, like, so I didn't see it when it first came out, but I knew it was one that obviously around Oscar time had got a load of buzz. I watched it thinking it was literally just like this family scamming a rich family. I didn't know any of the stuff that was happening in the basement or like how it basically kind of flips on its head and becomes like this tense thriller almost. So yeah, it was very surprising, like, and even watching it this time, even though I've seen it, I still didn't remember all of the twists and turns that happened, because the second half of the film is just like one twist after another, and I still didn't really remember what order they came in. I kind of knew how I remember it ending up at the bloodbath at the kids' party, but to get to that point, I didn't remember like the old housekeeper turning up in the rain in the middle of the night and stuff. Like, I didn't remember how it got to that point.
I didn't remember
hiding underneath the table.
them hiding underneath the table. I didn't remember.
It's very tense. I definitely sort of watched it going, I feel like I wanted to watch this with somebody so I could be like, ooh.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. But the beginning of the movie is like a completely almost comedy kind of like, oh, it's funny because we're duping these like rich people, and like, so let's start off. So obviously at the opening scene, we first like introduced to the family in their little low apartment that's like lower than the floor, and which is obviously very like foreshadowing of what's going to happen later in the movie. What do you think of their little house setup?
I have a question first. Has anybody else ever lived in a basement apartment?
No.
Yeah, I lived in one at one point. Well, one, you're always seeing people's feet in your window. Yeah. Like, that's your view. I think it was cheaper. I think that's why I got it. But yeah, I had like a moisture problem in there, and
Well, they definitely had a moisture problem later on in the movie. The story obviously starts off where we're kind of getting to know the family. One of them gets like a job folding pizza boxes.
I forgot about that.
Which they're not even very good at folding pizza boxes, to be honest. They're like 10% of them are like not folded properly or whatever, so we're going to dock your wages. But it's not even like the fact of is like, oh, they're just not very good at it. Like, they've got no kind of like ambition to even try and be good at it. Like the mum, I feel especially.
They put like on a YouTube video and they're kind of watching how to like quickly fold these boxes to get more money. Another scene I forgot within this is another real example of the way that they try and do the absolute least to get the absolute most. They're like fumigating the alley that they live in.
Oh, yeah.
And the father's like, leave the windows open because it'll get us free fumigation. So they're just sitting in there folding these pizza boxes on the floor with this like plume of poisonous gas coming into them.
I was like, God help anyone that orders a pizza from this pizza place. There's going to be like poisoned pizza now.
It just sets up that family as a whole, doesn't it? They're just cheapskates.
Yeah, it's like the perfect scene. Yeah, they're cheapskates. They're piggybacking off other people's Wi-Fi's, moaning that some others have put like passwords on it and stuff.
They are a family though, and they all stick together. So they don't look miserable, because they're not miserable, are they? They don't look miserable. They just need, obviously, a better lifestyle.
No, I wouldn't say they're miserable, no.
They're only not miserable because they just, like, squeak by. Like, their phones are going to be shut off, and they have absolutely no Wi-Fi. And, like, oh, what are we going to do? Oh, wait, there's this one area in the corner of the bathroom that you can sit and get Wi-Fi from. Now we're great. But I think they do a nice job kind of differentiating, because the question is whether this family is sort of put into this situation, or if, like you said, they're just kind of scumbags, lazy, and don't want to kind of con the system. And I think they do enough that kind of shows that it's a little bit more weighted on the side of them trying to be doing as little as possible to get the most as possible.
Well, yeah, I think that's probably the case.
The pizza box woman says somebody, like, quit, and he could get, like, a solid job with the pizza place, and that doesn't seem to really happen.
So he has a friend that I assume that he met at college. Is that what we're saying? Like a college friend.
Yeah.
That comes and says that he's doing tutoring work for this rich family. However, he's going abroad and he wants him to take over tutoring position for this young girl to get her ready for college. So he then takes him up on his offer, and that's how we're first introduced to, obviously, like, the rich family.
He wants the son in the family to take over the tutoring so that she can, like, get through and get to school, and then he can swoop back in and, like, romance her.
Yeah.
So which
is basically the same plan that then this boy comes up with.
It's basically Memoirs of a Geisha Part 2.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what the age difference is here. I'm going to assume, like, maybe, like, 4 years.
That was my hope. I think she's like 16, 17, and he's maybe like 24, 25, 23, 24 maybe.
Oh, so even worse than I thought.
Because he had to have gotten through all of his school, right?
That's right, yeah.
But I think that friend of his is kind of an interesting character, because he is kind of like willfully oblivious to how poor and, different classed his friend is.
But also he kind of presents them with the two kind of downfalls to their family, which is one, introducing them to this rich family, and also by presenting him with this, like, stone or rock or whatever you want to call it, that he's like, oh, this is going to bring you wealth, which also ultimately becomes, like, the downfall of the tutor child.
But it's such a like, rich, oblivious kind of gift. Like, I know you're not very well off, so instead of, like, trying to help your family out somehow, I've brought you this tchotchke, this like, stupid rock.
Something for you to dust, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but it's in a special box, so you don't have to dust it.
In a comparison to the house that they're living in, what, like, would you want to live in a big old glass house like they go to?
I mean, yes, 100%. It's such a lovely house. I like his walk there towards the, like, slums all the way up to, like, this nice area, and he's a bit like, where am I going? There's all these sort of wide shots, aren't they? Like, he's almost getting smaller as he's getting closer because it's so grand and, like, better than, like, this little cockroach man is who's about to take all this stuff away.
I think, Leia, like you say, like, the streets are kind of, like, claustrophobic as he's going there. Like, it's, like, concrete walls, like, either side and stuff. But then when you get to, like, their house and you see their garden, it's all, like, luscious and green for, like, the first time.
It's its own biome of, like, wealth.
Yeah. It's a bit like when Dorothy goes to Oz for the first time and it's been, like, sepia, and then it goes to, like, Technicolor.
But I thought it was really interesting that, from the street view, that house looks nondescript. It's just stone. But, it completely hides off this completely hidden garden in the background. Like, they've completely shut off this little bit of paradise in the middle of this, bleak city.
Do you think he's a good tutor? Because I was kind of surprised by how he acted as a tutor, like, grabbing her wrist and being all like, oh, your pulse is racing or whatever.
I couldn't even tell what he was tutoring her at.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing. He was just sort of like, he's just there to win over the mum. Like,
then comes up, off the cuff with this, like, oh, I know a tutor for art and like an art therapist for this child that's got issues, and he gets his sister in, who I think is probably my favourite of the film, because I feel like she's like the grafter, I feel like, of the family. Like, whereas everybody else is doing like a minimal amount, I feel like, I mean, they give her the name of Jessica, isn't it, in the movie? She kind of goes above everybody else with like she's making up like fake certificates, and like she could almost have a job like doing fake degrees and things for people.
Just forging everything.
Or a legitimate job. She could have like a legitimate job. Yeah, if she put her mind to it.
Yeah, I liked her. I think like she was, she had like that one facial expression through the entire film, which was like this sort of like chilled out, like, yeah, okay, do it this way. I thought she was going to be really aggressive to the young kid. Because she went up there with him, and then like he's all a bit over the top and sort of screaming and stuff. And then when the lesson's finished, he like bows and is like, "Thank you very much. You can go now." Yeah. I thought, oh, did she say something like, "I'm going to kill your family if you don't do what I say"?
Like act.
Yeah, I was like, oh, is she going to go crazy?
I mean, they get the art therapist in because the mum tells him that the kid had a seizure when he was young because he came downstairs to eat some birthday cake out of the fridge in the middle of the night and he saw a ghost. Let's like have a little talk about that scene, because for me that is the scene that sticks out in my mind as like terrifying.
Yeah, it was a really good shot, wasn't it? This sort of man slowly appearing up. He sees eyes like, yeah. As a child, you'll be absolutely terrified seeing something like that.
How inky black like the doorway is that he comes out of, and he like all you can see kind of is like the whites of his eyes almost like rolling back into his head.
I did find like knowing the end of the film, I found myself watching the framing of that a lot, where they would have that doorway just in the center of a shot, like all inky black with that lit up shelving with all the dishes and stuff, just like waiting for something to come out of it.
So I really liked do you know when they escape from the house? So after they've like waited all morning to finally leave, and there's sort of this sort of long sequence of them kind of getting back home through running home in the rain.
Yes.
It's almost like drowned rats just going back to the sewers after being running around. It was like, it made me feel really like, oh yeah, these are all like, they've gone from this like lovely place having food and stuff to then like running back in the rain, or like not even getting in a train or anything. They just literally have to run back without their shoes on.
To me, it really emphasized how far removed the two homes are. Like it takes them, they have to really traverse the whole city basically. And then there's so many shots of them going downstairs too. And so it's very, metaphorical, symbolic, going from the rich down to where they are in literally a basement that has now been flooded.
Yeah, they're like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind.
Let's just quickly talk about how the dad and the mom get there.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of where it takes kind of more of a sinister turn, the film. Because the other two kids have kind of got their roles in the family just by like word of mouth, whereas the dad and the mum come in, but they have got to take positions that are already filled within the household, so they've got to try and like work out how to get these people out so that they can ship them in. So obviously the first one is the driver for the family, although he predominantly drives the father around. He also takes the mum out shopping and things. So the daughter has an idea to get him fired one day when he's taking her home, which is a nice thing for him to do, and he offers her to take her all the way home, sort of thing. So she leaves her panties in the back of the car for the rich dad to find, to then get him to fire the driver. And then once he's in, they then come up with a worse plan for the housekeeper, which is to basically like poison her with peach fluff, which we've been told she's like highly allergic to. I mean, did that make you, in your estimation of like, before it's kind of like, oh, we're just getting into the family this way, like when they were doing these things to actual people, did your view change at all?
Yeah, I think you put it, for me, you put it right. It became more sinister, and maybe start thinking, what else are they going to do to take over this family's life, because they want to be in this home so much.
I think, yeah, they're just like, I would have thought that having the son and daughter in there would be enough because they're probably getting quite a lot of money as it is. So they must have been raking in loads already. So they're like, I kind of thought it was going to go a turn of when they've got the parents in, that it was going to go into this sort of like, they get a bigger house and they start just living a better life. Instead of just still living in the basement. But yeah, I think it's just that greed took over and they pushed it a bit too far. They could have been all right with just doing the 2 jobs, but yeah.
With the housekeeper as well, obviously she'd been there since the previous architect had built it and left, and then she worked for that family. Obviously later on we find out why that is, but I think obviously that was like the biggest one to get out of there because she had such a relationship with the rich mum, and then to be like she's got tuberculosis, they like come up with this whole like scheme where she's got tuberculosis, she coughs and puts a bit of tissue in the bin, and then they're there like putting hot sauce on it or whatever. Like you really see how like they're willing to stoop to get what they want.
Yeah, I feel like if that family put their own minds to like an actual like career or like just a good scheme, just a nicer scheme, they could work really well. Like
100%.
Yeah, I'm just like, you guys work so well as a team. You can't even put boxes of pizza together, yet you can like put this big plan of like, oh, we'll throw the ketchup in so it looks like it's blood and look.
So once all the family members are in, they've got their jobs as secure. The family are going to go, like the rich family are going to go away on this camping trip for the son's birthday, which leaves them with free reign of this house. Obviously, only the housekeeper's meant to be there. They're away, but all of them decide to stay. And then we have a knock at the door, basically, in the middle of the night. It's pouring down with rain. And we've got the shot of the old housekeeper who looks like she's been in some sort of, like, bar fight. But I assume it's just from, like...
peach allergy.
Yeah, her peach allergy. But it does look like she's gone, like, 10 rounds with Mike Tyson at the door.
But also she looks so different because when she's the housekeeper, she's wearing sort of the uniform of the house, which are these very... muted colors, and her hair is all up in a bun or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then when she's at the door, her hair's like, at first I think I didn't recognize her. I was like, who is this person? But I was surprised how, like, it's one thing that they're like, oh, we're going to take advantage of the house and kind of have this luxury weekend. But they make a full-on pigsty of the place.
Yeah.
There's, like, food all over the place. They're, like, drinking and snacking at the living room table, and there's just like crumbs and shit all over.
I don't know how they didn't think with the amount of rain that was going on though that family might not come back when they know they're going camping.
But also they were going to have to clean it anyhow, so why not be a little bit more aware of things?
Yeah, but when they do get back, it was so intense. Them trying to get ready. I was like, it's one of those games where you've got to try and do something in a short amount of time.
But it's not just the cleaning, is it? It's like, because obviously at that point they've now discovered that the housekeeper's husband's in the basement.
Yeah.
And they're both sides are like, I'm going to tell the family that you're down here, and I'm going to tell the family that you're not who you say you are. And it has got so many different elements of stress.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh, God. And then the family are just coming home. Like, oh, we'll be there in 8 minutes. It's like, and then they literally are. She's swiping the table to get the crumbs off as they're walking in. And she does this sort of like duck underneath the table. And I was like, oh.
And they obviously overhear at that point them talking about how the dad smells. And I feel like that is his kind of turning point at that moment where he's stuck under the table. He can't do anything about it to let them know that he's there. And he just has to be kind of like degraded in front of his children. Yeah. Like, that are, like, either side of him as they just talk. Obviously, they don't know he's there, and they're just talking amongst themselves about his smell and stuff. Like, he smells like an onion or a rag or something, they say. And then they sort of crawl out, obviously, later on when they fall asleep. But that is, it's such an intense scene. Why it is, because obviously the housekeeper turns up there, the old housekeeper this is, because her husband's living in the basement. Now, he's got debts, so that's why she's keeping him down there, because the loan sharks are after him. But he obviously hasn't been fed for a few days because she's not been there to look after him. But then she feeds him with like a baby's bottle.
Baby bottle, yeah.
Right? What's that about? I just didn't get that. I was like, because he's not like incapable of like feeding
He
himself.
knows Morse code, god damn it. No babies know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't even know Morse code.
Well, he did have a cheat sheet next to the lights.
Okay, we'll give him the bottle.
Yeah, that's still too hard to work out.
But I am confident, Dave, if you were locked in a basement for like 5 years with a chart that had Morse code in it, you could learn Morse code.
Yeah, probably.
Whenever he hears the father of the family coming up the stairs, he always like turns on the lights for him.
Mm.
That like in thanks for like letting him live in the house. And he's definitely like going kind of crazy because he just screams, "Respect!"
Respect.
And hits his head.
I felt bad for her more than some of the other characters.
I mean, I feel bad for her when they were like poisoning her with the peach fluff and stuff.
Where she grabs the peach and just like starts shoving it in her face when they're fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
And I felt bad for her when she had a concussion and died.
Well, yeah, she kind of like goes over to the toilet to be sick and then she just kind of dies, doesn't she? Which then, obviously, once the husband finds out that she's dead is what leads us to the big showdown at the birthday party, which the first victim of is the tutor son, who gets his head crushed with that rock. Because at one point he says,
I forgot
like,
all
he
about
feels
him.
tied
Yeah,
to...
he got smacked.
Yeah, he feels... Because it starts off kind of like it's his story, but that kind of gets pushed to the wayside, I feel like, as the story progresses.
Well, in preparing for this episode, I looked up again about The Rock because I remember being puzzled by it when I originally watched the film. And people online brought up something that I hadn't picked up on at all. So, it looks like it's this big old heavy rock, but it floats when the house floods. So it's very clearly not a big solid rock. It's fake.
Like hollowed out.
Yeah, so it's like a symbol basically of wealth, being sort of this hollow thing, or their quest for wealth being this hollow.
Oh, I didn't even pick up on that.
Type of thing. Yeah.
So yeah, he's the first one to go. He gets his head bashed in. I, again, thought he was dead, and then later on it's like, no, he's not dead, even though he continues to bash his brains to like a pulp.
Well, maybe because it was hollow, it didn't bash his brains completely to a pulp.
Then the two dads are out in the garden, and they are preparing to do like some sort of Native American kind of ambush on the kids.
Oh, pause real quick about this birthday. The birthday party is clearly for the mom.
Like, oh yeah, it's all her friends.
It's all her friends, and what child is like, you know what I want at my birthday party? An opera singer.
When the dads are behind, you can tell that since the whole hiding under the table incident and the fact that his house has been flooded, like, the dad's just not into it. Like, he wants to go home, and he's like, well, I'm paying you, like, overtime or whatever.
Yeah, just do what I say.
And yeah, exactly. Like, there's such a disconnect between them two at this point.
Like, they're kind of hidden and they're having this conversation. And I was trying to look at what, like, clearly the poor father is over it. And he's flustered. Like, his face is all red and he's wearing these clothes that aren't his.
Mm.
And the rich father is, like, talking about what we're gonna do, and he just makes some comment about like, you're doing the best that he's like projecting on the rich father and says, you're doing the best you can, I know you love her, like that kind of thing, which isn't really like saying I don't want to be here, but the rich father's like, look here, we're paying you extra.
Yeah.
Shut up and work.
And then the daughter brings out the cake, and then the crazy man comes up and stabs her right in the chest, which is obviously where it all goes completely haywire. The kid that's birthday it is, he goes into another seizure at seeing this thing that he thought was a ghost at one point, but now it's like, again, right in front of him. And then it is the kind of like the choice of there's a kid having a seizure, or there's a kid that's just been stabbed in the chest. And obviously the rich family are like, we have to get him to the hospital, even though his thing isn't quite as pressing as a girl that's bleeding out on the floor. Yeah,
that's what it shows you, that class.
Yeah.
Kind of, we don't actually care about you. This is just a thing. And then that's when he has enough. And just, I didn't expect him to pull out the knife and just stab the dad with it. I was like, oh, okay. Enduring Love Part 2. Yeah, everyone's getting stabbed. Yeah.
But also the poor mom, like, wins the day killing the man who's like the ghost by taking like a kebab skewer and like jamming it into his side.
No, I like that whole sequence is just kind of like shocking, really. It's like you say, you don't really know where it's going. Obviously, the whole time they're like, "Oh, we need the car keys. We need the car." Like even to the point where they roll the dead ghost guy off of the keys to grab it, and then they go. Even though the dad's been like stabbed, she still takes the kid. Mr. Kim, he runs out of the party having killed a man. Unbeknown to us, he runs literally straight out the door and then back into the garage and down into the basement to become the new resident of the basement. Yeah, it's like obviously comes full circle. Obviously, he has this dream that he's going to be able to one day afford that house so that his dad can come out of the basement.
He's never doing that.
Yeah, that was going to say, what do you think? Is that a pipe dream or do you think that's feasible?
It's a really sad ending, I thought, actually, because he does the thing of like, I've got it. And I was like, oh, okay, we're just going to say he got a good job and he got his dad out. Like, that's the dream of his, oh, I'm going to get you out, Dad. Here's a letter for it.
That scene is set up really nicely that it's, you know, at first you're not sure if it's a fast forward to him as an adult and them actually showing him by the house, or if it is this dream. And then, like you said, it's this darkness of him being back in this basement with it's just a letter that he's written.
Yeah.
But there's so many things contingent that need to happen for him to buy it, because the house is, again, this like, it's not even just like, I'm going to save up and buy a house. It's, I'm going to buy this crazy expensive house. And even just that I'm going to go back to school and get a degree and get a good job and then make enough money for it. I just didn't see his character sticking with that.
It's never going to happen. It's something that he's kind of like told himself that's like, oh, one day I'll get Dad out of there to make himself feel better. But I don't think it would ever come to like fruition.
It's sad to think about, isn't it? Because it's like, oh, there isn't going to be a sequel to this film. That's it. That's all you're left with. This sort of idea that this guy's just stuck in a room for the rest of his life.
You know, a sequel planned, but there is a television show planned. Like an anthology show.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there's an anthology show based on the house. So like different families in the house. It was originally planned after the film was made, but then COVID happened. And so I think it's gone through a lot of changes, but per Wikipedia, again, grain of salt, as of 2025, the director said that it's still in the works.
Would it be like before this family moved in, or would it be like after this has happened with the dad in the basement?
I don't know. I didn't look up enough details on that. I would think after it. I would think that various other families, because it seemed like the architect owned the house and then it went to the Park family. And so everything else would be after that. I guess Tilda Swinton was attached to it at one point, and Mark Ruffalo was another name I saw in there. So curious if that will happen and what that will actually come to be. Will the father still be in the basement the whole time?
Yeah, because like, are they going to make him like full like a crazy like antagonist now, or is he just going to be like sneaking around stealing some cake out the fridge? Like, so I think that brings us to our ratings of the movie. We'll do our best character, worst character, and favorite scene first of all. We'll start with you, Danielle.
I think I agree that I did like the daughter best, but while we were talking about it today, I think maybe Mr. Kim is my favorite character just because he kind of goes through, we see him go through it in the film. Mm-hmm. Like, by the end, there's like some, like, I think he's the one of the characters that like really regrets his choices, and like he's brought his family to this and now really has to live with those consequences for the rest of his life, presumably. My least favorite character is, I'm going to be contrary and say the rich wife. And I just, like, I hated how, like, the one scene that really gets to me is it's after Mr. Kim has found out that they think he has a garbage smell, and she's gone shopping, and she's just on the phone, not even acting like he's there, just like handing wine bottles off to him, and he's just a receptacle. And then she takes her shoes off, and she has her shoes up
on the back of the passenger seat.
And then she's like, what's that smell? It's probably your dirty ass feet.
Yeah, I actually did think the same as that.
Poor Mr. Kim.
I feel like he was like the most light-hearted out of everybody, and his downfall did seem the most. Like when he was chatting away to the guy in the back seat, and he's like, "Keep your eyes on the road," and like I feel like things like that, he was like, "Oh, he's not actually my friend." Like I feel like he was the most friendly.
I liked whenever he was rehearsing the scam to get the wife into the job. And they intercut this scene of him actually talking to the boss with the son having written this script and him like overacting. "Oh, wouldn't you like a housekeeper from this service?" And they're like, "Calm it down."
Yeah.
Eggs.
Worst character has to be, I don't know, probably the maid.
What, the previous housekeeper?
Probably her. I don't know why. Maybe I just didn't like her that much, but she was annoying because I was like, "Oh, go away! You're ruining this family's thing."
She puts the spanner in the works. Yeah.
And best character, the son. Yeah. I just think because he's good. He's the one that kind of, without him, they wouldn't have been there. I don't know. I haven't really got a worst or best character. I'm kind of just on straws here. Yeah, I don't really know. They're all good.
The best character was Jessica. Just because I felt like she was kind of like the mastermind behind it all. I thought she was sassy. Like when she got the like kind of wayward child artist kid to be more controlled. So she obviously, although she wasn't an art tutor or therapy or whatever, she did kind of do what she set out to do, which was like get him in control. The worst character I've put as the poor mom, because I feel like she was the most volatile out of them all. Like she was the one that was having the argument at the beginning with like the pizza person. I felt like she was kind of more entitled, like feeling, "Well, we deserve this more than the other three." Favorite scenes?
Mine was them going home. They get what I said earlier.
And mine, I don't think we already touched on, which was the man coming out the basement that the kid thought was a ghost.
I think my favorite is the whole Peach thing. Like they film it almost like a heist film or something. Like they're shaving the hair off of a peach, and then they walk past her and like just blow these peach hairs onto her.
Mm-hmm.
I like how
down the back of her neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it leads us to our final scores. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm going to give it like a 3 out of 5 limes. I respect that it's good. It's as good as it is, but it just didn't blow my mind like I thought it would.
Do you think it deserved Best Picture?
I don't know who was it against.
So I wrote what it was against. If we can maybe go through that. So this is like in one of these years where they've got 10 nominees, so it's a big field. Okay, so Parasite, Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, I couldn't read my handwriting, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I liked Marriage Story.
1917 I loved. Marriage Story was good. Wouldn't have said I wanted Marriage Story to win, though. 1917 was very good. Jojo Rabbit I really enjoyed, but I probably wouldn't have picked it as a best
Scarlett
picture.
Johansson in 2 of those movies as well.
She is. I mean, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was also a great film. Very long, but it was good.
Yeah. We saw that in Hollywood, didn't we, Danielle?
Yeah, we saw that at Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
But for me, I think Parasite is the best of this bunch.
My second one, I think, would have been 1917, but I'm happy that Parasite won.
For me, this is a 5-star film. I think this is great. It's a lot of unexpected. It kind of defies a genre. Like, you don't, it keeps changing what the genre is. And like I said before, this is like a director that I've loved the collection of his work, and this is just another great one. How about you, Nat?
I gave it a 4.5. It's basically perfect. There's a few little things that annoy me about it, like just character choices and things like that. But it's pretty much perfect for me. It's a movie that, like I say, I've already seen it, but even coming back to it, I'm still, the twists and turns are like so extensive that I'm still like, oh yeah, I like completely forgot about that. It just keeps turning it on its head the whole time, especially for that second half.
It's weird because it's like a film that I know it's good, but it's not, I wouldn't talk about it or go watch it again. Like, I know it's good and I enjoyed it, but it's not something I'd be like, have you seen Parasite? I'd just be like, oh yeah, that's that film. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what appeals to you, yeah.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks. So, that is the end of the podcast this week. Next week, we will still be keeping it in with our Oscar winners, and it will be Danielle's choice of movie. Any little teasers you want to infuse of, like, what year was this one the winner?
I didn't come up with a...
I think...
I didn't come up with something
No,
clever.
well, you did. The silence gave it away. Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Gotta leave that long, drawn silence out. That's the clue. All right, bye.
I stayed up very late watching Parasite, so my quick thinking is a little dulled today.
Anyway, guys, we'll see you the same time next week. Bye from me.
Bye.
All right, bye.